This is Terrace Garden apartment. The apartment I studied for my intervention program on waste management. So this is located in Itimadu. Uh, the apartment has 136 flats divided into 7 blocks from A to F, and each block is of 3 floors, having residents from 2-bedroom to 3-bedroom houses. The management showed interest when I have come here for my study on data collection on waste management. Before actually the implementation of the study, they used to collect all the waste through the housekeeping staff, and then it was tied up into another big gunny bag, and then it was kept for disposal to be taken away by the BBMP, which was very irregular, and every time they have to persuade the BBMP to come and collect the waste from here, and it was very ugly sight with smell, rats, flies, and all such things in place of this waste collecting area. Yes, ma'am.
The last 19 years, and waste was never segregated all these 19 years. We were putting the organic waste and the wet waste and all the dry waste and the other waste all together into bags, which would be collected by the service staff, and everything would be dumped in a common dump yard in the apartment complex, from where the BBMP was taking it to their dump yard. So nothing was segregated all of these years. Fortunately, one fine day, Mrs. Kaveri introduced us to Dr. Mamta and Mrs. Asha Jyoti, who came and gave 2 PowerPoint presentations, which was attended by few of the residents. And these residents started segregating the waste, and through educative captions on board, more people joined in. As more people joined in, we started collecting more organic waste. Then we dug 2 pits, and the gardener and Bangaramma, who are service staff, were also present at the PowerPoint presentation, and they understood the whole concept so well. The credit goes to them for participating in the organic waste segregation. Now 1 pit is ready with the pure organic manure, which yielded about 150 kilos, and which has been put into our own garden thanks to the efforts of Bangaramma and Munisami and the residents who have started segregating. Now I should say about 10% of the people are not segregating, 90% are segregating.
Same thing, not burning the leaves or mixing up wet and dry waste. All apartments should do it. That's what I feel, and it's good we started it.
Because it's a burden to the environment if you throw the waste anyway. So what do you feel like?
Yeah, one thing I want to tell you people, that when I went out of Bangalore and came back after 6 months, it was an amazing thing that I saw, and you people are doing fantastic job. And these ladies also doing fantastic job, and along with the association, and I could see the garden is also very flourishing, and manure is accumulated. Fantastic job. And now I have to find out more details from them, what exactly they are doing and other things. Thank you.
What do you think, madam?
First of all, I have to thank you people, and that's what I think.
Now, how do you feel that segregating of waste is it important for all, or
Of course, it's
and
important.
is it very tough for you to do
No,
that?
it's not
And
at all tough. It's not at all tough.
it's not at all.
It's not at all tough.
And how do you feel like segregating the waste and with the manure? How do you feel like?
Segregating the waste.
Yeah, you are segregating
Your
the
waste is
and
being
you are,
converted into
doing the
manure. So what is your opinion on that?
It's It's good.
That's the best thing.
You are not contributing to the environmental problem. So what do you feel?
We are doing a contribution, a bit.
Yeah.
This is our president.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm being the president of this Residents Association. I'm very proud our ladies have done this. In fact, to tell you, like, we are doing it for past, 4-5 months, if I'm correct. Now this is a need of the hour. Recently, what is happening in Bangalore, like every apartment or rather every individual house should adopt this. Now it is a time has come. So I think, they have these segregation centers in all the 198 wards. It will be very, very good. And, it will also help the farmers to get the manures at a very cheaper rate and all. Since we are now discouraging the chemical manures and all. This is really helps, like, it will be a win and win situation. So I request the BBMP to make it mandatory in all the apartments, houses, in all wards. Okay, then only this garbage, menace will come down. And of course, they have to do something for the plastic. And I'm really, really thankful to our ladies for doing this wonderful job. And also the people like NGOs or I don't know what are
We
they.
are not NGOs from the
Home Science College.
Home Science College, yeah, you are doing a wonderful job. And I want you people to do this in all the apartments so that our Bangalore, once again, it will become a garden city, a clean city, and gives a good environment for our children to live. Thank you.
What is your opinion, sir?
Yeah, first of all, she said thank you very much for all the support and guidance you have given, both of you. And of course, initially people are a little skeptical about it, but there are a lot of captions put on the board, and then sometimes even small groups went ahead and then talked to people, and within a short time, the people took to it, which is a surprise for me. That means people are, there is awareness already, but people are only waiting for somebody to trigger this, which both of you did. Thank you very much.
Both of you did, and one of the residents, Sugandha,
Sugandha, yeah, really.
Yeah,
because she was totally convinced, this is the right thing to do, and she went about it passionately. So one person has to take the initiative,
lead from the front.
lead, and convince others also. And it all depends on how seriously that one person is taking it up,
Yeah, really.
Hats off to
That
her. Actually, she
zeal, yes.
stood by her words, and
Yes.
she really
It's all
was
because
for
of
it.
her.
Yes. Yeah, really. Yeah. Thank you.
ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಗೊಬ್ಬರ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿದೆ, ಗಿಡಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಅದ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಚೆನ್ನಾಗೆಲ್ಲ
ನಿಮಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿ?
ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಷ್ಟ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ತೊಂದರೆ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ.
ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಇಸ್ಕೊಳ ಇವಾಗ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ತರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ
ಏನು ಕಷ್ಟ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ,
ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕೋಆಪರೇಟ್
ಕೋಆಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ್ರೆ. ಕ್ಲೀನಾಗಿ ನಾವು ತೊಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲೀನಾಗಿ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
What is your opinion, madam?
It's worth doing, and Mrs. Parsati has taken a lot of effort to do it, and we are all every resident, everybody is very, very happy about it because it is done so successfully.
It was decided by the residents that they would have a bucket for collecting the wet waste under each block, and the bucket is kept at a designated place where the residents would every day empty the wet waste into it, and the gardener would pick it up from that place and take it to the pit where the composting is happening. So all the waste is emptied into. This is the landscaping of the Terrace Garden apartment. They have lots of plants and flowering plants which is maintained by the gardener, and the manure they have got from the first pit, they are using it for all this landscaping. So the gardener is carrying the bucket in which the wet waste is emptied, and they have identified a spot under the jackfruit tree where they have dug a pit, and she every day empties the wet waste into the pit and empties it into the pit, and then spite of all the education given, sometimes the bucket also contains plastic covers and all other sorts of non wet waste, which the gardener at the time of emptying into the pit clears it up, and then the dry leaves which are collected by sweeping around in their compound are laid over the you can see him emptying the plastic covers, which the residents pack it up like that only and put into the bucket. So he clears the plastic cover. If only a little more care is taken by the residents at the time of segregation, a lot of efforts put in by the gardener could be saved. And after emptying the wet waste into the pile, he puts a layer of dry leaves which are collected by sweeping around in the compound of the residence, so that the mosquitoes or houseflies do not come and sit over them and create a nuisance. And twice a week this is thoroughly mixed so that aeration can happen and the composting can be faster. He spreads the sack containing dry leaves and flowers onto the wet waste.
Yeah.
Every day we collect 6 containers of this size, full of wet waste.
Yeah.
We have 6 blocks, A, B, C, D, E, F. One container is kept at each block. So residents separate the wet waste from the dry waste, and the service staff collects the wet waste and fills it here. And these people, Bangarama and Muniswamy, carry them and start doing this, emptying into the pit and covering the wet waste with the dry leaves and flowers.
Yeah. Some of the residents come and empty their wet waste directly into the bucket. Some of them keep it separately in a plastic cover, which is collected by the service staff and emptied into the green container. Since the service staff also has attended the presentations, they are well educated in this project. One pit which is ready has yielded 150 kilos of manure, which has been distributed to all the plants around the campus and the coconut trees.
Yeah.
The second pit and the third pit are being readied now. We will save on expenses of buying manure.
Yes. Bangarama is one more very important member of this composting unit. She is a very interested housekeeping staff of this apartment. She collects every day dry leaves and flowers which are fallen on the surroundings of the apartment. She sweeps them and collects them in the bag and then deposits them near the pit, and the gardener, after he empties the day's collection of the wet waste, will put a layer of these dry leaves onto the wet waste to avoid the mosquitoes or problem of houseflies coming and complaint by the residents about any bad foul smell emitting from the waste. a lot of dry waste is collected because of the presence of a number of flowering and fruiting trees in the campus, and it is the duty of Bangaramma to sweep the whole of the surroundings and collect the dry waste into bags and keep it ready for putting as a top layer on the stick. ಬಂಗಾರಮ್ಮ, ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಈಗ ಗೊಬ್ಬರ ಮಾಡೋದು ಈ ಮನೆಯವರು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ.
ಒಳ್ಳೇದು, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. ಅದು ತುಂಬ ತುಂಬ ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಅನುಕೂಲ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಗಿಡಗಳು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿ ಪರಟಾಯಿಸಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗಿಡ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫುಲ್ಲು ಗಿಡದಡಿಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗಿಡ ಬರುತ್ತೆ.
ಇದರಿಂದ ಏನಾದ್ರು ತೊಂದರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಮನೆಯವ್ರನಿಂದ ತೊಂದರೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಆಯ್ತಾ?
ಯಾವ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಯಾವ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾರು
ಅದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಬಂದದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಕೊಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಕೊಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
ಓಕೆ,
ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಏನು ತಾಪತ್ರ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ.
ಆಯ್ತು ಬಂಗಾರ.
ಅನುಸರಣೆ, ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ರೇನೆ ಮನ್ಸನ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಶಾಂತಿ. ಅದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಬ್ರಿಗೊಬ್ರು ನೀನು ನಾನು ನೀನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಯ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದು ದೊಡ್ಡದು ಆಕಾಶ ಭೂಮಿತಾ ಇದು ಬೆಳೆದಾಗ ಅದೆಲ್ಲೇನು ಉಪಯೋಗ ಏನು ಬರೋದು ಲಾಭನೂ ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬರೋದು ಏನು ಉಪಯೋಗ ಇದೆ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಪಾಡು ನಾವು ಹೋಯ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಯ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ನೀರು ಬಿಡಬೇಕು. ನೀರು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಷ್ಟು ಕೊಳ್ತ್ಕೊಂತದ ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಫುಲ್ಲು ಗೊಬ್ಬರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಗುರುವಾಗಿ. ಅದು ಫುಲ್ಲು ಎಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು ಪರಟಾಯಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಪರಟಾಯಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾಗ ಅದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ತಿರುವಾಗ್ತಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಕ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಫುಲ್ಲು ಗೊಬ್ಬರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.